In this real experience, I had constantly the feeling that I'm in the wrong place, like outsider trying to integrate in a group of people who would not accept me if they knew who really I was. There was a festival with some concert organizing and master classes. I was trying to find my way in the huge building and was not sure what I was supposed to be doing. Someone told me I'll be teaching a harpsichord student who will have a concert. Immediately I went out of the building and managed to find the student. He was looking with big curly hair and had the appearance of someone like Jimi Hendrix, but much younger. The poster for the concert was placed on a tree. The air was fresh and there was a pleasant sunshine. But I felt for a moment a little unease as a thought passed quickly through me that I am not a harpsichordist, but a cellist, and not so much that, but the fact that I was not very clear of what to do. So I was feeling a bit insecure. Then I went back in the building. Suddenly, a female student came out of a small room and asked me if I have found the student I was supposed to be teaching, and I answered positively. Then I had to pass in an art room which was full of drawings, and there was a blonde female teacher with her students, which were in a process of creating new paintings. The paintings were everywhere on the desks, but the whole room did not have any space to walk through as it was full with desks and paintings on top of the desk. So I had to find my way walking on top of the desks without stepping onto the paintings. Some caught my awareness. There was one which was not only a painting in 2D, but it was a combination of 3D art. Here the experience stopped as I woke up second time.
Okay, that's a fun one. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a good one. And so we got to go through the funny ones, and then once in a while we get a good one. And you really want to look at that because there's a lot of hints in there for you. And so as you're going through this, the idea is about a concert, right?
It was rather a festival, some art event, not only music, but, and I was told that I will be doing something, but I wasn't sure what exactly, so on.
Yeah, okay, so let's keep it short here. So, yeah, so again, the same idea, festival, concert, whatever, all right, it's a gathering. And learn to identify how your personal self comes into it. So, as you're talking to someone and they're talking about a harpsichord or whatever, but you play the cello or whatever you play,
Yeah.
again, there's your personal self. Oh, I don't do that. This is what I do. You see?
Yes.
That's your personal self coming into it instead of, oh, I'll try that. Sure, I've never done it. I'll try it. You see?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's the new adventure. Learn to, if you want, so you're in the classroom here, so it's like I'm the instructor, so learn to go for the adventure. Learn to, when something comes up, it's like, yeah, I'll do that. You know, when I was asked by the real guides, I was in a room of hundreds of people, and they were in front of everybody in the room, and all of us were sitting down. And so Paul stepped up, and Reepsar and all many of the guys were there and said, "Who wants to continue with Paul's works?" I was the only one that stood up. I stood up immediately. Hey, I'd never done it. I stood up and said, "I'll do it." See?
Yeah.
There's the attitude. That's who they're looking for. You see, so, and as you're going through this, and then you see what's going on, that's one of the guys. In other words, isn't Jimi Hendrix an old, famous, whatever musician, right?
Yes. I'm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So one of the boys is taking on that identity, so it relates in somewhere, Jimi Hendrix or Michael Jackson or whatever they're taking, and you look at the conversation, and then you're going along, and this woman comes out of the room or somewhere and says, "Oh, did you have your student there, or did you meet your student?" Whatever. Again, another guide confirming to you and getting your confirmation. Okay, oh yes, I got the student. And then there's another place or a room, and all you see this blonde-headed lady up there supposedly teaching or helping the kids draw or whatever. And then all of a sudden, the room is so full that you actually have to walk on the desks. Okay, so when you're walking on these images and paintings, and that woman was Ava.
I assumed so, but I didn't dare even
Yeah.
propose now. But I
Eh,
thought if this was Eva, because it was, I think this was on 8 when she already did some of these child portraits,
yes,
here, the
yes,
new friends. And I associated immediately, probably that was, I didn't pay attention exactly, but I was just given the impression that was the female blonde art teacher, and I thought even in the when I was in the Rio, I thought probably this was Eva.
yeah, yeah. And the fun part is that, see, again, you're given the hint. So instead of, there's no room to walk around, so you had to walk on the desks and the paintings and the images because your feet are your personal self. And it's a hint for your feet, okay, your personal self to relate with. Again, going back to your second experience, the children. You see?
Yes,
So you're giving the hint instead of growing old, you're giving the hint to recognize real youth and that attitude that children have to explore. They're not interested in restriction. If I had a child today, I would not send them to the schooling system. When I was married with my former wife, who was an ECAS too, she was a higher initiate, etc. But I would not send them because Lindsay was awesome. I would raise them, and I would raise them like the farm life or whatever, raising them with a natural environment. I would not put them into the system at all because that's what ruins them, and then they got to deal with it. So again, you're given the hint of this. Children are precious and sincere. And see,
yeah,
there it is right there. And this is what I see. This is why I constantly share these images and certain ways, etc., of the children, the childlike, because it's very, very important. And this is how I see the is. And the is has manifested to me in the past as a little girl. Like the girls because they're just pure sweethearts. And so again, you're given all the hints here, young man, as you're choosing what to do with your personal life. You see?
yes.
Like that. Go ahead.
Well, that's all. I'm normally told that have got autistic traits and I behave like a child anyway. So I kind of understand this being like a child. I probably
Yeah,
naturally am like a child anyway.
we're all there. We just have, this is where we've forgotten. And the child, what's the child? Children live every moment. They don't have a future. They're not this or that. They're not concerned about the past. It's a new life for them. It's moment by moment. That's the childlike attitude. It's not just being a children and just running around and not knowing what to do. It's you're living the moment and you're just being real and wonderful. And then
Yeah,
you just,
being pure as well.
just do what you do, whatever your
Yeah,
life is. You do it, and then you decide to simplify and sort out your life, or you decide to just have all these attitudes and grow old again. You decide, you see, but you must decide.
yes. Thank you, Duane. Yeah, that was all. I had two other very experienced today and I think yesterday, but I haven't written them down. So I need to write them down and I'll share them another time.
Yeah, I appreciate it because when you write them down and put them in the chat, the others and whoever else is on here, or Dennis, who is French, they can translate them right away and see.
Yes, everything recently I shared here, I've written in the sharing experience, and I think Kevin has made videos of those experiences. So yeah, that's why don't share them before I mean, don't discuss them before I actually have written them down. Yes.
No, it's wonderful because again, as you do this, it's very important. You're taking part. This becomes part of your personal self. And now all of a sudden you start to recognize a real purpose for your life here, not just hanging out and doing things and having a job and paying the rent. You know, that's all dust stuff. Look at the sun shining. So we got to get through that. You know, my focus is getting through it, but my focus is I'm going to be here as long as whatever, like Reva's are, because I'm not interested in, oh, I don't want to come back another lifetime or whatever. All that's old nonsense. It's about being now and being aware and whatever it is, because I like the challenge. I'm fine with it. Whatever happens in the world or whatever, I'm fine with it because I want to try and reach my adventure is to reach others to help them become more aware because this is precious and it is precious to see what life is, and that is it's awareness. It's not spiritual, it's not gods, it's not worship and all this nonsense. It's awareness. So you're going through your process and you decide how you're going to recognize. You decide how you're going to explore and discover and compare and be able to sort it out. You see? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank, thank you, Nikolay.